Evening and welcome to the City of Oxnard Planning Commission regular meeting for Thursday, June 2nd, 2022. The time is 6:02. A quick housekeeping item before we begin our meeting. As shown on the agenda and online, please email all written public comments to planning@oxnard.org. Those wishing to speak during the meeting may do so in person or virtually. For in-person speakers, please submit your speaker card to the commission secretary. For virtual speakers, please view the bottom of your screens for the call-in number, meeting ID, and passcode. You may also submit your request to speak by visiting oxnard.org/city-meetings by 3 p.m. the day of the meeting. During the meeting, a 3-minute opportunity will be given for additional members to participate. Because the meeting is electronic, all votes will be done by roll call. With that, we'll now move to our commission secretary to establish our quorum.
Chair Chavez,
Here.
Vice Chair Ovejo,
Here.
Commissioner Connolly,
Here.
Commissioner Dr. Lopez,
Here.
Commissioner Meyer,
Here.
Commissioner Nash is absent, and Commissioner Sanchez is absent, and we have a quorum.
Thank you, Madam Secretary. We'll now move to our next item, which is our Pledge of Allegiance. And Commissioner Connolly, would you mind leading this?
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, with freedom and justice for all.
All right, thank you. We'll now move to our next item, which is public comments for items not on the agenda. Members of the public wishing to address the Planning Commission regarding any item not on the agenda, but within the subject matter jurisdiction of the commission may do so at this time. Although the commission cannot engage in any items presented during public comments and will be referred to the commission secretary. All public comment speakers will have 3 minutes. Madam Secretary, just to confirm, we did not have anyone for items not on the agenda?
We had one signed up, but I don't see that person on the call.
Okay, so we'll go ahead and do 3 minutes for any additional members wishing to speak during items not on the agenda. And we'll also note that Commissioner Nash is joining us. So in the meantime, we'll go ahead and move to our consent agenda, which is our approval of our minutes from our May 5th, 2022. Commissioners, any additions, revisions, or a motion for them? Vice Chair.
Thank you, Chair. I move to approve the minutes as distributed.
Thank you. Commissioner Meyer.
Second.
Thank you. It's been moved and seconded to approve the minutes as distributed from May 5th. Madam Secretary, can we have a roll call, please?
Vice Chair Ovejo,
Aye.
Commissioner Meyer,
Yes.
Commissioner Connolly,
Yes.
Commissioner Dr. Lopez,
Yes.
Commissioner Nash.
Aye.
Motion passes.
And the chair also says aye.
Oh, Chair Chavez,
Aye.
motion passes.
Thank you. We'll, since we still have another minute and 30 seconds, we'll have our staff, if they want to present any items that need to be brought to the attention of our commission as we enter into our agenda.
So Chair, Commissioners, regarding item F2, before we get into the public hearing portion of the agenda, the applicant has requested a continuance of this hearing to June 16th. So when that item comes up, we would ask that the commission approve that continuance to a date certain of June 16th.
Thank you. At this time, we'll go ahead and do ex parte real quick, as there's still more than 40 seconds. Vice Chair Rejo.
None.
Thank you. Commissioner Connolly.
None, thank you.
Thank you. Commissioner Dr. Lopez.
None, thank you.
Thank you. Commissioner Meyer.
None, thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Nash.
Is this for all agenda items or just
All.
all? Well, I think it's appropriate that I say that I'm a longtime customer of the Raven, which is whose owner is that the item that's being continued? Okay, so that disregard what I just said. I apologize. But I just want to say that I am a customer.
So no ex partes other than that? Okay, and none for myself. All right. Madam Secretary, did we have any additional members for items not on the agenda?
No, we don't.
All right, thank you. So we'll go ahead and move to our next item, which is our first public hearing item, F1. Project name is Pacific Cafe Alcohol Special Use Permit, Planning and Zoning Permit number 21-510-04, Special Use Permit Alcohol. This is located at 1661 Pacific Avenue, Unit number 11. A request for approval for a special use permit to sell beer and wine for on-site consumption at an existing 1,995 square foot commercial suite within approximately 18,000 square foot industrial building on a 16.18 acre site located at 1661 Pacific Avenue, Suite 11, within the Business Research Park and Limited Manufacturing Plan Development Zoning District. This is an existing restaurant, is located within the BRP portion of the project site. Alcohol sales shall be limited from 7 a.m. to 10 p.m. daily. The project is exempt from environmental review pursuant to Section 15301, existing facilities, Class 1 of CEQA guidelines. This is filed by Justin Barnage. I apologize. Designated agent on behalf of the property owner of R&E Pacific Development. The recommendation for the Planning Commission is to find the project to be categorically exempt from environmental review pursuant to CEQA guidelines, Section 15301, existing facilities, and adopt a resolution 2022-XX approving planning and zoning permit number 21-510-04, special use permit, alcohol, subject to certain findings and conditions. As a reminder to my colleagues, as well as to the public, staff pre-recorded presentation is available on the city's YouTube and can be reviewed there. At this time, we'll move to our city staff person, which is Randy Bias, associate planner, for any additional information to be able to provide.
Thank you, Chavez, Chair Chavez. Myself and the business operator are here for any questions that you may have, and the applicant is here virtually as well.
Thank you. So no presentation from the applicant.
No.
Okay, commissioners, any questions for the applicant or for staff on this item? Commissioner Nash.
Thank you, Chair Chavez. I would like to have one term defined for me if you could. And I believe this was the agenda item where it popped up, but the word is annular. Is that describing a ring of a certain diameter or radius surrounding the site? I think this is for alcohol establishments.
Sure.
Annular just means circular.
Okay, and is when they say that like 1,000 foot, is that the diameter or is that the radius?
It's the radius.
Okay, thank you.
Any additional questions for staff or the applicant? Okay, at this time, we'll go ahead and open the public comments portion for this item. All right, so we'll go ahead and go to our first public comment speaker, which is Pat Brown. Ms. Brown.
Going way back, in the mid 1990s or a latter part of the 1990s, I think it was, I got involved in the Oxnard's group for going around checking out alcoholic beverage locations and so forth. And then we'd have meetings of everybody, and everybody was going to different places and so forth. Trying to put a hold on bad stuff that happens when people get drunk. And on a number of occasions, at different locations, a whole bunch of different locations. When they first built the restaurant up by the Home Depot and Staples, when they first built that one, and they had an outdoor eating area that you could, and a little tiny fence around it. That location here in downtown Oxnard on 5th Street, there were restaurants that had outdoor eating, and right next to where people would be walking by the restaurant, or could. All kinds of places around town, out by the beach, all over. We had a real problem because when they would take their drinks and they would sit right along in the tables, right along the little low fence on the outside in the patios. And kids would come along and grab their drinks and run off with them. And everybody would giggle and laugh and think that's real funny. And in some cases, that would be the parents that would sit out there, and their teenagers would walk by and they'd give them their drink and they'd walk off with it. This happened a lot. And it's difficult. So we all suggested that when you're going to have an outdoor patio and people are going to be drinking, you have the tables up next to the building, and then a big space between where those tables are and the people are sitting and the fenced in area. So there's no way for somebody to reach across the fence, grab it and run, because that was what was happening a lot. We also had problems with the drugstores that would have these beer towers just inside the door, where people would come in and grab a pack and race off with it. So I feel sorry for y'all because we went through this for years. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Brown. At this time, we'll go ahead and have our time 3 minutes. Staff can go ahead and to respond to any comments that were made from our speaker, if they wish.
Yeah, thank you, Chair. Pacific Cafe is not proposing, nor does it have a patio at this time.
Thank you. Does our applicant that's on the call, do they wish to provide any comments?
Can you all hear me?
Yes.
Chair. Hi, my name is Justin Baranich. I am the applicant, and I'm representing my client, the business owner, who's present there with you. I just did want to make note that there are the conditions, operating conditions that are part of the resolution that do address all the alcohol sales and how they relate to the food sales. And I'm hoping you've had a chance to look through those and see how thorough they are, and that should address your concerns. Thank you.
Thank you. Commissioners, do we have any additional questions? All right. Commissioner Connolly.
Move to approve the project as written.
Uh,
Do I need to state the whole thing?
Mr. Saragosa, can we take action on it since we're in the middle of the 3 minutes?
Yeah, so Chair, Commissioners, the 3 minute time period is for when we're operating under AB 361. Now that you're no longer operating in a virtual environment, and the public comment, the additional public comment for allowance of virtual public comment is really just in addition to what the Brown Act and our local sunshine ordinance requires. So yeah, you can take action. I mean, that 3-minute period was really designed when we were operating in a virtual environment under AB 361, which we no longer are. So
Okay,
yes.
so it's more of a courtesy.
Correct.
Okay, so we have a motion by Commissioner Connolly. Is there a second? Commissioner Dr. Lopez?
Second.
Thank you. It's been moved and seconded to find the project to be categorically exempt from environmental review pursuant to the California Environmental Quality Act, guidelines section 15301, existing facilities, and adopt a resolution 2022-XX approving planning and zoning permit number 21-510-04, special use permit alcohol, subject to certain findings and conditions. Is there any discussion on that motion? Seeing and hearing none. Madam Secretary, can I have the roll call, please?
Commissioner Connolly,
Aye.
Commissioner Dr. Lopez.
Aye.
Commissioner Meyer,
Yes.
Commissioner Nash.
Aye.
Vice Chair Owejo,
Aye.
Chair Chavez.
Aye.
Motion passes.
Thank you. That will conclude that item, and congratulations to the applicant.
Thank you.
Commissioners, as already previously stated by our city attorney, Mr. Zaragoza, there needs to be a motion to continue item F2, which is the project name Via Restaurante Alcohol Special Use Permit, Planning and Zoning Permit number 22-510-02. Mr. Zaragoza, on my speaker list, it doesn't show anyone listed to speak for that item, but we do have an in-person speaker card requesting. Do we take that comment now, or would they have to wait?
So, I mean, it's really the pleasure of the chair. I mean, to do that, given that after the fact, you can make your motion to continue the item.
Okay. So we'll go ahead and listen to our public speaker on this item, and then we'll look for a motion to continue. So Ms. Brown, if you want to come and speak on F2 now, or did you want to wait for the continued date?
The group was called RAPAC, Responsible Alcohol Policy. And so anyway, we would report, and then we'd have to then go back and do follow-ups. And we'd change out who was going where, so it wasn't the same person going back to the same place. But we would still find the same problem. And it's unfortunate. It's an unfortunate situation for everybody. It's not right, but there's nothing much that can be done about it. When it got to the point where the theater over in the new north part of town, new theater, when they decided they were going to serve alcoholic beverages in there, beer and wine and so forth, and that the people can go and take it, and they weren't going to be sitting in a room with a door and whatnot. They were going to be taking it right to their seats inside the theater as they watched the movies. Well, the problem is you put your drink down and you get involved in this thing, and sometimes it really takes your mind away from what you have here, and you take your hand away, and your teenager is grabbing the drink and drinking it while the movie's going on, and you don't know a thing about it. And this was brought up at one of the city's little Monday night meetings where anything new that's happening would be discussed, and not just alcohol, but all kinds of other business things. And that was brought up there. And there was a police officer there that had been with the police force here in Oxnard for many, many years. Big guy. I mean, if he told somebody to get lost, they would get lost. I mean, nobody. I mean, he was so big that no one would question him. But he sat there behind all of us and didn't say a word. And I knew what he was thinking, but everybody else thought it was fine. Just fine. Just go in there and get all your drinks. And when one is empty, while you go and get another one, you bring it back and sit it down and don't pay any attention to it and let the kids drink all they want. And I feel that this is very unfair. It's unfair to the kids. I mean, you know, you're leading a horse to water and then not letting them drink. That is just not right. I don't know what to
Ms.
do
Brown.
about it all,
Thank you, Ms. Brown.
but it's either that or we have drunks out on the street. You
Thank
know,
you.
I don't know what to do. Thank you.
Thank you for your comments. Commissioners, if we can have a motion to continue this item to our next meeting, which is on June 16th. Commissioner Meyer.
Thank you, Chair. I move that we continue the project name via Ristorante Alcohol Special Use Permit item to our next meeting scheduled June 16th.
Thank you, Vice Chair Rejo.
I second.
Thank you. It's been moved and second to continue the item to our next meeting on June 16th. Any discussion? Commissioner Connolly.
Quick question for staff. I just scanned my email, but did we get an email that the June 16th meeting was canceled for lack of agenda items? Would this then be? I get a lot of emails, so I could have mistaken.
Commissioner Connolly, no, there shouldn't have been an
Okay.
email.
My apologies.
Cancel it.
No worries. Thank you.
Any additional comments? Seeing and hearing none, Madam Secretary, can we have a roll call, please?
Commissioner Meyer,
Yes.
Vice Chair Wejo,
Aye.
Commissioner Connolly,
Yes.
Commissioner Dr. Lopez,
Yes.
Commissioner Nash.
Aye.
Chair Chavez,
Aye.
motion passes.
Thank you. So we'll go ahead and proceed to our next item, which is item F3. Project name is 2700 and 2750 Ventura Road Utility Easement Vacation General Plan Conformity Planning and Zoning Permit number 22-625-01 General Plan Conformity Determination. At the request of the for property, the applicant, the city of Oxnard City is considering vacation of the easements located at 2700, 2750 Ventura Road. The easements to be vacated consists of a 38-foot wide utility easement totaling approximately 33,409 square feet along the frontage of the two parcels. The project site is located at 2700, 2750 Ventura Road. The project application was filed by Jonathan K. Cornelius for property. City staff person is Joe Pearson II, interim planning and environmental services manager. The recommendation of the planning commission is to find the project to be exempt from environmental review pursuant to CEQA guidelines section 15061B3 and section 15378B5 and adopt a resolution 2022-XX affirming that the city of Oxnard's proposed vacation of the utility easement located at 2700 and 2750 Ventura Road is in conformance with the city of Oxnard 2030 general plan and recommending that the city council order the vacation. We'll move to our city staff person if they have any additional information to provide.
So Chair, Commissioners, before we get into item F3, and this actually pertains to item F4 as well, I wanted to note that staff has received an appeal of a decision of the director made on May 23rd regarding the approval of a development design review permit of the Four River Park project. The appeal was timely filed within 10 days of the director's decision, and that will go forward. We can't get into detailed discussions about that at this time, but we just wanted to let you know that at the outset. We are advising you proceed with items F3 and 4 tonight, as these items pertain to general plan conformity issues, which are still subject to further review, and there are no permits being issued pertaining to the subject matter before you tonight. So we can proceed with 3 and 4, but we did want to let you know that there was an appeal filed regarding the approval of the development design review permit.
Thank you, Mr. Saragosa. My only question for that would be that depending on what type of action we take today, what ends up happening if the appeal does go through? Or technically, isn't this the body that responds to all of the director's appeals?
That is correct, which is why we cannot get into detailed discussions about the specifics of the appeal or what was filed. However, the two actions that are before you tonight, again, pertain to general plan conformity issues that, once the planning commission makes a recommendation as to those, the city council would still have a decision to make.
Okay, Commissioner Nash.
Thank you, Chair Chavez. And Mr. Zaragoza and staff, it seems to me that these two items are pretty much independent of whatever project gets built at that site. So I would at this time urge the planning commission to move forward with these items.
That we are of the same opinion.
Okay. It's already been read into the record. And at this time, we'll go ahead and turn to our staff. Mr. Pearson, if he wants to provide any additional information for this item.
Chair Chavez and commissioners, I do not have any additional information to provide, but I am here available if you have any questions, as well as the applicant, Jonathan Cornelius.
Is there a presentation from the applicant team or just available for questions?
There's no presentation, so we're just available for questions. Thank you.
Okay. Commissioners, any questions for staff or the applicant on this item? Seeing and hearing none, we'll go ahead and proceed to public comments for this item. We'll go to our public comment, Pat Brown, for item F3. Ms. Brown?
I cannot hear you back there. I think there's a speaker system that is not functioning. I see these little round circles with the plastic over them. Maybe those are where the speakers are, and that's why we don't hear anything. All I could hear was Miss Brown. I couldn't hear what all you were discussing and whatnot, so I can't really make a comment about it. I do feel that these problems with the alcohol beverage permits do have to be approved, most of them. But we have to make them strong enough. We have to make sure that
Ms.
the
Brown.
people who are taking those
Ms.
will
Brown,
make sure that the kids don't get any drinking.
Ms. Brown. This item is F3, which is a utility easement vacation. It's not an alcohol permit.
Okay.
So if you have comments on this item,
I don't.
okay.
Thank
So
you.
thank you. Commissioners, any additional questions? Seeing and hearing none, I will look for a motion for this item. Vice Chair Rejo.
Thank you, Chair. I move to find the project exempt from environmental review pursuant to California CEQA or California Environmental Quality Act Guidelines, Section 15061B3 and Section 15378B5, and adopt a resolution affirming the City of Oxnard's proposed vacation of the utility easement at 2700-2750 Ventura Road is in conformance with the City of Oxnard's 2030 general plan, and recommending that the City Council order the vacation.
Thank you. Is there a second? Commissioner Nash for the second.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to find the project exempt from environmental review pursuant to the California Environmental Quality Act Guidelines, Section 15061B3 and Section 15378B5, and adopt a resolution 2022-XX affirming that the City of Oxnard's proposed vacation of the utility easement located at 2700 and 2750 Ventura Road is in conformance with the City of Oxnard 2030 general plan, and recommending that the City Council order the vacation. Is there any discussions on that motion? Seeing and hearing none, Madam Secretary, can we have the roll call, please?
Vice Chair Rejo,
Aye.
Commissioner Nash,
Aye.
Commissioner Connolly,
Aye.
Commissioner Dr. Lopez,
Aye.
Commissioner Meyer,
Yes.
Chair Chavez,
Aye.
motion passes.
Thank you. We'll go ahead and proceed to our next item. Item F4, project name is Caltrans Access Road General Plan Conformity. This is planning and zoning permit number 22-625-02. Request for the 2030 General Plan Conformity Determination for the acquisition of real property located directly south of 2700 Ventura Road and 901 Town Center. The city of Oxnard is considering the acquisition of real property located directly south of 2700 Ventura Road and 301 Town Center. The property to be acquired consists of 40-foot wide California Department of Transportation access road, totaling approximately 32,227 square feet. The project site is located at 2700 Ventura Road, 901 Town Center. This is filed by the City of Oxnard Community Development Department. City staff person is Joe Pearson II, Interim Planning and Environmental Services Manager. The recommendation for the Planning Commission is find the project exempt from environmental review pursuant to CEQA Guidelines Section 15061B3 and Section 15378B5 and adopt a resolution 2022-XX affirming that the City of Oxnard's proposed acquisition of real property located directly south of 2700 Ventura Road and 901 Town Center is in conformance with the City of Oxnard's 2030 General Plan and recommending that the City Council order the proceed with the acquisition. I will go to our city staff person for any additional information.
Chair Chavez and commissioners, again, I don't have any additional information, but I am here if there are any questions.
Thank you. Commissioners, any questions? Commissioner Nash.
Thank you, Chair Chavez. So right now, this is currently Caltrans property.
Yes, that is correct.
And if the city acquires it, they will still have access to this?
Yes, that is correct.
Its only purpose is to access the stormwater detention basin?
With regards to Caltrans needs or the cities?
Caltrans.
So for Caltrans, it accesses that detention basin and it also provides access for maintenance of the bicycle overcrossing. So for both of those facilities.
What are the benefits of us going through this process and the city gaining ownership of this? I didn't really get that, understand that from the staff report.
Yes. So Commissioner Nash, there's two benefits. One, it does help facilitate the development of that site, of the 4 properties site, as well as there's the existing Oakmont development there. That development, the secondary access point for that development is off of that access road. Currently, they don't, or Caltrans could block access to that. So this development would help preserve that access point because it would then be under the city's control.
Okay, thank you for that. That's all, Chair. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Any additional questions? Commissioner Dr. Lopez.
Did we learn anything about Caltrans's case for or against it, or did they provide any feedback or opinion on this?
Yeah, so we've been working with Caltrans regarding the acquisition over the last probably 1.5 years or more. So they are in support of this. So again, yeah, we have been working with them through this process.
Great, thank you.
Any additional questions? Mr. Zaragoza, this is just more of a clarification. Through my oversight, I missed 2 individuals that did sign up to speak on item F3. And I do see them virtually. Would it be appropriate if I give them an additional minute if they wish to speak for this item to be able to address that previous item?
So typically, once the public hearing, once the decision is already made by the commission, we would not take items on those previous agenda items. However, if they're going to make brief comments, I mean, as the chair, you can allow them to make comments for the record, but you've already rendered your decision.
Okay.
And if I have the names correctly, I believe they're with the applicant team on that project.
Okay, so they're not necessarily members of the public wishing to speak. They're part of the applicant team.
I'm assuming the names are, is it Ann Walsh and Andrew Fogg? Yes, they're with the applicant team.
Okay. I just thought I messed up already, but no, it sounds like I'm good. All right, so we'll go ahead and open if there's no additional questions. So we'll go ahead and open the public hearing item for this one. There's no speakers, right? Since she left. All right, so we'll go ahead and close the public hearing for this item. Commissioners, what is your pleasure? Vice Chair.
Thank you, Chair. I move the recommended action from staff.
Thank you. Is there a second, Commissioner Connolly?
Second.
Thank you. It's been moved and seconded to find the projects exempt from environmental review pursuant to the California Environmental Quality Act guidelines, section 15061B3 and section 15378B5, and adopt a resolution 2022-XX affirming that the city of Oxnard's proposed acquisition of real property located directly south of 2700 Ventura Road and 901 Town Center is in conformance with the City of Oxnard 2030 General Plan, and recommending that the City Council order the proceed with the acquisition. Is there any comments or discussions for that motion? Seeing and hearing none, Madam Secretary, can we have the roll call, please?
Vice Chair Owejo,
Aye.
Commissioner Connolly,
Aye.
Commissioner Dr. Lopez,
Aye.
Commissioner Meyer,
Yes.
Commissioner Nash.
Aye.
Chair Chavez,
Aye.
motion passes.
Thank you and congratulations. So we'll go ahead and proceed with our agenda. Nothing under item G. We'll proceed to item H, Planning Commission business. Commissioners, any business to bring before the commission? Commissioner Nash.
Thank you, Chair Chavez. I want to apologize to my fellow and lady commissioners for being a little bit late tonight. I saw our recording secretary's email at 10 minutes to 6 that the Zoom meeting was not allowed, and I was in my Zoom outfit of a shirt and tie and gym shorts. So I had to rush upstairs, put on some pants and shoes and hightail it down here. So I wasn't sure about the Zoom status anymore. It's a very confusing situation with the increase in infections and who knows where we are. So I'll try not to make that mistake again. And I think I will have to request receiving a paper copy if we're going to have in-person meetings, because it's just, I made the request that, to higher powers that we all receive a laptop so we get access the agenda packet up here in the dais. That's obviously gone nowhere. So I'll have to kill the tree in the name of efficiency, I guess. And that's all. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you, Commissioner Nash, and thank you for wearing pants to our meeting this evening. Any additional business? Commissioner Dr. Lopez.
Just a couple of general announcements for the public. Obviously, we have an primary election here in California on Tuesday. Just want to encourage everyone to return your mail ballot or exercise your right next Tuesday. I think turnout thus far is a little low. And so, some of these races and measures, I should say, are very important, could dictate, just in change of majorities and whatnot. So election vote before Tuesday. Second, wonderful event coming up. If you can see it on the camera, got this flyer here in the lobby for Juneteenth. Going to be celebrated here at Plaza Park June 18th from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. A lot of wonderful sponsors and hosts. For more information, you can just visit juneteenth.oxnard.org. And I see the city of Oxnard as well as a number of other folks serving as sponsors there. So great to see that happening. Second, another flyer. I want to make sure that we are doing all we can to share with the public just the dire situation we are with water. The state and much like other parts of the country and the world are really being affected by the lack of rain and just water. And so effective already from starting May 18th until further notice, only 1 day per week watering is allowed. Flyer, you can certainly find it on, I'm sure, on the City of Oxnard website or social media. So if your address ends in an odd number, you water on certain days. And if your address ends on an even number, you water on another day. And I think it's just once a week. So let's all do what we can to preserve some of that water and hope for some rain. Thank you.
Thank you. Any additional business? Commissioner Nash.
Thank you, Chair Chavez. I do want to tell this commission that I saw a notice from the city alerting commissioners not to respond to any posts on social media by other commissioners. And I was glad to see that because I wasn't, I think there has been a little bit of interaction, especially with Citizens for a Better Oxnard. And I just want to make sure that we avoid any impropriety. So I don't know if staff has any thoughts on that.
Yeah, so again, we can't go into detailed discussion about this, but AB 992 was passed and was effective beginning January 1st, 2021, and remains effective until January 1, 2026. And it imposes more strict Brown Act requirements than what were previously within the Brown Act, which would allow some interaction so long as you weren't discussing business within the subject matter jurisdiction of your commission with at least a quorum of those commissioners. That new law basically says you can't interact with even one member of that commission. It potentially could be a violation of the Brown Act, and it gives examples of things like a thumbs up or a like or an emoji. Any sort of response could be interpreted as concurrence outside of a published noticed meeting. And so, if Commissioner Lopez said, "Hey, I ran the LA Marathon," and you thumbs upped it, it has nothing to do with your subject matter jurisdiction. But if it's pertaining to a project that'll come before this commission or something, then potentially there could be a Brown Act violation in that instance. So if you would like, if it's a pleasure of the commission, we could give you more information on that law, just so that you're all up to speed with it.
Thank you. Vice Chair Rejo.
Thanks. I was going to follow up to Commissioner Nash, but also follow up to Mr. Zaragoza's comments. Yes, I would like, I don't know if we need a formal motion. I'm willing to make it. There are a variety of circumstances where I feel that we could, but you're saying as a member of the Planning Commission, one of the examples I'm thinking is if we were a candidate for office, that would be different than being a member of the Planning Commission, in my opinion. I'm sure there's lots of exceptions, so I appreciate that. And if we do have that brief hearing workshop, I would appreciate giving questions as examples. Thank you.
That's why I only post about food on my social media. It's a safe bet. All right. Any additional business? No. I'll just briefly say that on the 20th last month, the Oxnard Leadership Program, which is part of the West Ventura County Business Alliance, participated in a brand new session with land use and transportation. One of our visits was right here in these chambers. We had our Director of Housing, Mr. Ramirez, and we had Director Idomitis, as well as our interim manager, Mr. Pearson, give a presentation to our participants. We also had Gold Coast, VCTC, and Metrolink all give presentations, and every participant, the feedback that came back was that it was outstanding. It was great. They felt free, that they were able to walk around because there was a lot of walking that day. I made sure to pack in lots of walking, but they really enjoyed it. So I encourage anyone, think about it for the future. It's just one Friday out of the month that you participate. So thank you to staff for their presentation. And I did not realize how much charisma our director has with our participants. He made a lot of them laugh and he kept it very lively. And I was like, very interesting. So that would be my comments. Any additional business? And then we'll go to staff for their updates.
Thank you, Mr. Chair Chavez, for the very kind comments. We, with Mr. Pearson and I, had a great time presenting to the group. And it was really, I think your advice at the beginning was, hey, this is an engaged group. You don't want to just walk through a PowerPoint. So we kicked it up a notch and engaged the group. And I think we had a great time. We really enjoyed it as well and look forward to any future opportunities to share about all the great things that are happening here in the city of Oxnard. We also had an opportunity to tour one of the sites across the street, which I have an update on. This is the Navigation Center right here at 2nd and B. In the last week, the city was able to complete the plan check process for that project. It's a over 60,000 square foot, 5-story building with partnership with Emilio Ramirez, Mr. Ramirez, and the housing department. And through a tremendous collaboration with all of the departments, Public Works, our legal team, our planning team, our building team, our contract plan check service, we were able to pull it all together, and that project now has permits ready to issue. So we're super excited about that. And the other project that we wanted to share with you that also has grant funding associated with it, and we just went through the same process to complete and ready to issue permits, is the Central Terrace apartment projects. This is at 217 through 235 East 6th Street. This is the proposed 5-story podium style building. It's 87 units. This is 86 one-bedroom units and 1 2-bedroom manager's unit. It's 100% affordable with about 2,400 square feet of commercial space included. That project is also now in the permit ready to issue phase. So we're super excited about both these projects, and we just want to share that with the commission tonight. And I'm glad we had an opportunity to share a little bit about the Navigation Center with the group that we were with. So, Mr. Pearson?
I guess just to kind of add to that, kind of as a preview of the June 16th meeting, we will be bringing the climate action and adaptation plan to the commission as a study session item. So that will be coming up. So be prepared for that. And also there's some workshops coming up regarding the South Oxnard Aquatic Center. So that'll be posted on the city's website. I believe the 2 dates are June 29th and August 1st, 6 p.m. to 7:30 p.m. At the South Oxnard Center at 200 East Bard. So that information is also posted on the city's website, but just wanted to share that here as well. And that's all that I have. Thank you.
Thank you for those updates, and congratulations to our city staff for all their hard work to get those permits issued. That's a really big thing, especially that Navigation Center. Any questions for staff? Since there is no further business before the commission, and if there's no objection to adjournment, Commissioner Nash, no objection? We will be adjourning to our next regular meeting for Thursday, June 16th, 2022. Remember, commissioners, we're all required to be here, so don't be skipping out because it's the last day of many schools. With that, we are adjourned. Thank you. Have a great night and stay safe.